Hey, so I watched the newest One Piece episode number 893, the newest episode of Wano arc, and it was beautiful. I really loved it. I must admit, I loved it more than the previous one. It is a review. It's not a reaction. So if you want to see a reaction, go here. I'll put a link. And if you want to see a review, then you're in the right place. I'm not going to recount all the events that happened. I'm going to tell how I feel about this episode and what interesting things I found in it. I loved all the scenes between Luffy and Tama and Kumaino and that baboon, and it was really interesting. I felt like they put more effort in the scenes, in the frames they found most important, like Luffy using future sight, for example, or cute frames of o-tama. But when there were frames with this, kind of underlings, they weren't so beautifully drawn. But it's okay because, of course, they have to put out these episodes every week, so they have to cut it somewhere, the expenses. But it looked really beautiful, and the pace, for me, the pace was really great. It was nice. In the previous episode, I found it a bit slow. Maybe I'm getting more into it, more used to One Piece anime, because usually I just read manga. But this episode, I loved the pace. I loved the animation. It looked, yeah, there were a few moments where it wasn't as smooth as maybe I would want it to be, but still, it looked great. And I loved all these effects and this sound and visual effects they added to Luffy using his haki. We saw him using observation haki, his future side. He really developed it greatly because during his fight with Katakuri, he wasn't that good at observation haki, but he learned that future sight from Katakuri and he mastered it. He dodged that bullet from shot from far away. He felt it, he saw it, and he dodged. Even though he is a rubber man, he doesn't really need to dodge it. Yeah, but it was a tranquilizer, so he did a great job dodging it. They showed us like some kind of light coming out from his eyes, so we can tell he is using observation haki in this moment. And later, when he was using Conqueror's haki with Baboon and Kumaina too, we saw really great sound and visual effects, and I really loved it. It's great how they expanded on that. And not only that, you didn't get that in manga. You didn't get a lot of scenes they added in the anime because in manga, Sora said, you remember, sorry, Kinemon, after killing that magistrate son, and there were actually no consequences. And in the anime, they expanded a bit on it. So we saw a placard telling us that Zoro is a slasher. He's still out there. And we saw Robin and Usopp noticing that placard. And even though there were a whole lot of people just standing there for hours maybe, and Usopp and Robin, they were looking at it like a few seconds, and they were asked, "Why are you looking at the Zoro Juror such long time? Maybe you know him. Ah, maybe you know the slasher." And Robin was like, "No," and they went away. But in case with the soap, it was really funny. So this man, I don't know how to call them, the police, one of the police, he came to him with this weapon that looked like smoker's weapon and asked, yeah, do you know Zorajuro, this criminal? And I loved how so, you know, we don't get to see much of Usopp's lies lately. Yeah, we get that lie with Todo, him selling Todo, but it was really nice to witness Usopp's line again. It was great. It brought tear to that guard's eye. He was, okay, you're free to go. I see you have a family and a lot of children. Okay, just go. So it's great how they expanded on Zora's part of the story. They showed Zora hiding under the bridge. They showed Frankie and Robin and Usopp's reaction to this news of Zora being the slasher. The last thing I wanted to point out is Tama's kibidanga because it looked like it was glowing. Yeah, and about Tama herself, her color scheme is wonderful. I like this violet and green together. I would just add a bit of orange. They chose yellow. It's okay. I love her. She's really cute. So it's a nice touch. So to sum it up, it's really great. It was a great episode. It went by really fast. I loved the animation. I loved the color schemes. I loved all the frames. They look great. And how they are not dragging it out to not to catch up to manga too soon. They are building on manga. They are expanding on it in the way that I love. In the way that looks like canon. So I'm really excited for this one arc in anime. And I'm waiting for the next episode because as they showed in the teaser, they'll show us a flashback of Ace. I really can't wait for it. Well, that's it for my thoughts. What are your thoughts, guys? Did you like the episode? What did you like? What did you note? I really enjoyed it. I must say I didn't find anything I didn't like. See ya!